Money can be so emotional, right? And there's two parts to what I teach. The first one, Angela, is just the energetics about money. What is your money mindset? What's your money blueprint? Did you grow up with lack or poverty mentality, or money is the root of all evil? We really want to find the basis of your money energetics and build on that with money strategy. So the first thing I teach really is the easiest thing to do right away and organize your money, which is get control of the in and out flow in your checking account. People really feel like their money is controlling them, controlling their options, controlling their, where they live, what they eat, do they buy organic? Do they work out at Club Pilates? Or are they, jumping on a box, doing step ups? Because, money feels like it controls you. So step one, let's control the money. Let's control the flow and organize it in the bank so it's very clear. From there, let's be intentional with what we do.
Hello, Empowered Nation. Welcome to Empower Her Money podcast. I am your host, Angela Duncan, speaker, best-selling author, serial entrepreneur, and we talk all things money and business. Today's episode is sponsored by freemoneytipsbook.com. freemoneytipsbook.com. Head over there, download your free ebook, 7 Unshakable Tips to get you started on your financial journey. On today's episode, I get to interview Joanna Doiban with Mama Money Masters, and we are talking money, we are talking insurance, and she's got some incredible tips that you need to know to help you on your financial journey. Hi, Joanna. Welcome to Empower Her Money podcast. How are you today?
Oh, I'm so excited, Angela. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for saying yes to the show. So I would love for you to start out, let our audience know your background, your story, and how you got to what you're doing today.
Sure. I love the story part in the beginning because I didn't realize it was my story until people started asking. And so a few years ago, I was working in a family business, selling televisions, making great income, but no impact. And that weighed on me. I was like, I don't even watch TV, but I sell them all day long. I wonder what my purpose will be. And through a series of events, it became a really toxic work environment. And I really felt weighed down by these like golden handcuffs, if you will. One day I decided I just can't. I'm so out of alignment. And I was able to walk away from that because 10 years prior, I started a nest egg for myself that I didn't know what it was going to be for. Hopefully when I'm 65 years old, I'll be able to tap into it, but it was available to me. And it was that bridge that got me out of a really toxic work environment. I didn't realize how heavy that was on me. As soon as I was able to step away and find my new career now in financial services, I was so grateful for that nest egg, and a light bulb went off. I was like, oh my gosh, more people need to start early, taking care of their future selves, because you don't know what's going to happen in life. Things happen. So that's how it all got started.
That's awesome. Well, we both talk about money. So I love your passion and how driven, and like you said, the impact that you're now being able to create. So you obviously have a business going today. Talk a little bit about what you do and how you help your clients.
Absolutely. So when I left that industry, I found financial services. I now own a life insurance agency. So over the last 2.5 years, I've learned about mortgage protection, wealth planning, children's grow-up funds. And at the same time, my dad wrote a book about getting control of your personal finances. And I was looking for a way to connect my life insurance business with this brand that I'm building to help educate women on how to be smart with money. It all just blended together. And I said, okay, I know I've got this corporate side of my job, but I really want to take what I've learned and bring it to just every woman out there that might be a little bit scared to talk about money because it's just not a comfortable topic. I want to make it comfortable, very simple, and very relatable to the average woman that's like, what are the secrets? How do I get ahead? I want to be the voice I want to be a thought leader. I want to be a trailblazer for this, like financial wellness, financial education for women and mothers. As a mom myself, I know the importance of starting as early as possible. So that's kind of what brought me to where I am today.
That's amazing. So what are some of the simple or basic things that you like to start with when you're starting this journey with somebody?
Yeah. Money can be so emotional, right? And there's two parts to what I teach. The first one, Angela, is just the energetics about money. What is your money mindset? What's your money blueprint? Did you grow up with lack or poverty mentality, or money is the root of all evil? We really want to find the basis of your money energetics and build on that with money strategy. So the first thing I teach really is the easiest thing to do right away and organize your money, which is get a control of the in and out flow in your checking account. You know, people really feel like their money is controlling them, controlling their options, controlling their, where they live, what they eat, do they buy organic? Do they work out at Club Pilates? Or are they, jumping on a box, doing step ups? Because, money feels like it controls you. So step one, let's control the money. Let's control the flow and organize it in the bank so it's very clear. From there, let's be intentional with what we do. So,
And sometimes do you find that people are just nervous to even look at that bank statement or that credit card statement?
right, they're avoiding. I'm glad you said the word credit card,
Yes.
because this is the scariest thing that is happening all over America. People are borrowing money at 18 and 28%, and they'll get stuck forever in that hole. So I'm like so passionate about telling people, just don't use credit cards, or use as much as you can just pay off, right? But the first step is really not avoiding it anymore. Just ripping the Band-Aid off, looking at it, because thinking about it, I think, is more nerve-wracking than actually looking at it. And sometimes just people need to know it's so simple. Organize your income here, organize your expenses here, know how much you need to not live above your means. That is it. If everyone can just start by not living above their means, they'll never get in that credit card mess. And now they can actually have space to decide what to do with the money that they're making.
Yeah. So talk about, you've created this group for mommies, which I love. I'm a mom too. My daughter's 20, and I hope that, I've instilled enough education in her, at least for her to not get into credit card debt at 18. But it is very different when we're mommies, because we not only are thinking about us, we're thinking about our children, we're thinking about our family. So what kind of help do you provide to that community so that they understand, being a mommy is important, and here's how we can approach the money differently?
Yeah, it's so it's so heavy when we talk about money and kids, because the blueprint we came in with is from our childhood. And unless we do the work to examine our money mindset and be intentional and choose the mindset versus have it handed to us, we're just going to repeat that to our kids. So my Facebook group, it's a private group for women and mothers, called Mama Money Masters. And I want to help moms understand in bite-sized chunks, little lessons, how to control the money strategically and energetically. So I go live every Wednesday. We do short clips about energetics, about strategy. And the first thing I teach them is the earliest you can start creating a tiny little nest egg for your babe, the most potential you have for them to be actual millionaires through, easy type of contributions, or people call it investing, depending on the strategy. So the earlier you start, mamas, the more likely your babes will have a significant amount of money compounded over time. And this is my message to all parents.
Nice. Now, I'll ask you a question, and this is always a debatable topic. So, as parents, we always want to put our kids first. But if you haven't started investing for your retirement or for your child's college education, what do you recommend?
Well, you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you can help somebody else. And so I'm going to offer a third option, Angela, if I may.
Yes.
Start investing for your own retirement if you haven't yet. And collect all of your kids' birthday gifts and monies into a small bank account, and use that to fund something for them that's not going to come out of your income necessarily. all three of I have three little boys. They're 9, 6, and 3. And all of them have a bank account where whenever they were born and they had birthdays, all the gifts went there. And it didn't seem like a lot, but it's like a couple $1,000s. That is something that you can use to start to slowly contribute to their nest egg without taking away from your own. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love that third option. That's a great idea. And funny too, because one of the things that I had heard recently, and I did with my daughter when she was younger, is instead of getting like gifts for the birthdays, we always did a charity. So like if you love dogs, Humane Society, or collect canned goods if you're during the holidays, or Barbie dolls, something like that that the kids can participate in together, which also doesn't add to the toys that are in the closet that just sit there forever, like having that contribution mindset. So I love that third option from you, because that is really a contribution mindset. How do we best use what we're already receiving and help our children, get further, hopefully, and have a better financial future?
Amen. We just need to be creative. And this got a little bit controversial over the holidays a few months ago when someone was telling me all the gifts for their kids for Hanukkah and Christmas. And they were like, what did you get the boys? And I said, no, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't buy my kids presents. I don't go to the store. I don't go online and buy toys ever. Like if
Mhm.
it's a Rubik's Cube or something educational, if it's a sports thing, right? It's got purpose, but I don't buy a gift just because it's a birthday. And they were like shocked. And I was like, is that weird? But I do contribute to their futures financially. That's where I choose to put my money. I don't want to just follow what society says.
Yeah. So then when it comes to educating your children, because obviously you have three and all different ages, how are you starting to teach them about money so it's not a taboo or scary topic for them?
Yeah, that's hard. The first thing is our words, right? Comes back to the energetics on money. If they say, mommy, I really want this toy, I don't say we don't have the money for it. The words you say are so
Mhm.
powerful. I say, I choose not to spend my money there. Or you can ask for that for your grandma or your auntie, because
Yeah.
other people love giving gifts. And listen, I'm not saying don't buy your kids gifts. I'm saying if you love giving gifts, like do that. That's your power of using your money intentionally. Don't do it because you feel like you have to. So I have people in my life that love to spoil my kids with gifts. And so I take advantage of that. If they really want something, I say, well, that you can wait for some birthday money because they can get a little bit of the birthday money. I don't take it all for tomorrow. The point is to do both, right? A little bit today, a little bit tomorrow. And so I'll teach them that it's a choice if you want to buy that, right? There's a consequence if you do spend all your money and what's left over. Be resourceful. Ask somebody who else wants to buy you something. And then finally, going back to your contribution and philanthropy, Angela, I say, well, it is time and we want to do a gift and we want to buy them a toy, I say, okay, let's go to the playroom and pick 3 things that we're going to donate that's in good shape that somebody else can use. And then
Mhm.
we'll replace it with this one new toy. So there's the rotation and the community aspect of this isn't my stuff. This is mine for now. I'm ready to set it free. And I feel like there's so much more to uncover here around money. And obviously it's got to be age specific, but get them involved in the conversation and in the decision making when it comes to spending and choices.
Yeah, and I like that, pick out some items that we can give, and then you're taking them through that entire process. So if you're going to go donate it somewhere, when my daughter was age appropriate, we were able to volunteer places so that she can see the impact that she's making, not just telling her what to do, but kind of showing her and involving her so that she can be part of that and have that feeling. Because as women, we feel that emotion. So if I can instill that upon her and she feels good about doing it, then I know she's going to continue and then teach other people to do it as well.
Exactly. It's a ripple effect. And so that's going to be part of her money blueprint. And you're right. You can't just say, okay, we're going to take these 3 and you dump them out. Like take them to the Goodwill, take them and rewrap them if it's for, the holiday seasons. They got to see the whole process come full circle. And it's just, there's so much more to uncover around kids. I can't wait to learn more, through experiences. And
Yeah. So you mentioned you have a life insurance company.
yes.
What do you recommend for people when they have never talked about life insurance? They have nothing in place at all. Like, how do you start that process?
Okay, first things first, you want to work with somebody that's a broker that can get lots of options for you, because with life insurance, you qualify based off of your age and your health. And so if one company says you're not suitable for our risk, tolerance, then they'll just decline you and then you'll just have no coverage and then you're back at square one. So make it simple. Start with somebody that can shop around for you, because you can't just, you could go online and buy it, but I don't, this isn't Amazon, right? You want to have a consultant to make sure you have the right plan for you. That's the first place to start. And the second thing that people don't realize is that the old type of life insurance, it's like when you die, somebody else is going to get some money. The new type of life insurance has so many different ways to do it, but also living benefits that, let's say you don't die, or you're a single person that doesn't have someone to leave behind money for, but you want to protect your own self if you got sick or disabled. The new types of life insurance will cover a major illness. If you didn't, before you die, you can accelerate that early if to cover for illnesses. So I think those living benefits is one of the newest ways that people are seeing more value. And it's not just for somebody else. This is for me to protect my own life. Yeah, that's the basics.
Yeah, I'm always amazed how many people, and I understand, like, if you haven't really controlled your money, you don't have a budget in place, life insurance is just not something you think about. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm young, I'm be fine. But I mean, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So the life insurance conversation is really important, especially when you're married and you have family. You want to make sure that they're taken care of should something happen to you.
Exactly. The sooner you can apply, and 16 weeks after being born is actually the soonest that a client can apply for life insurance. The sooner you're in without any medical ailments on your record, without any, the most likely you are to get approved, because there is nothing on your medical record. They're going to look that up. And so if someone waits till they're in their mid 30s or 40s or 50s, at that point, you may not be eligible for the like $1 million or more, right? For the plan that you really want. And so the sooner people can apply, the better. And for young people, there are those plans that you get all your money back at the end. So it's kind of like a no-brainer, right? Is that you can start young, put that in place, that habit in place. But you're right. If people aren't organized with their money, if they don't have an intentional budget, it's not going to be necessarily a priority, or they might buy it and then life happens and they need tires and they let that thing fall out. And so it's tricky, but it's definitely important and meaningful. And so I love what I do because it has that purpose. Because I know specifically homeowners, right, that if something happened to the breadwinner of my clients, that their family, their kids would have that house paid off for. Like, that's the first taste of generational wealth, is to give an asset paid off that's $100, $200, $500,000 of worth. You could rent it out. It could be an income. You could live in it. You could sell it, take the equity. But unfortunately, what happens is that people don't have it in place. They can't make the mortgage payments without that person's income. They lose the house to the bank. They lose all the equity that they paid month over month, year over year. And that's painful. When you're grieving, to have financial stressor at the same time, it robs you of the space that you need to go through that stage of life. So it really is meaningful. And when I find somebody that wants my help, I would do it for free, basically.
Speaking of free, I know that you have put together a free guide for your clients. So I would love for you to share that information, talk about it a little bit, and then how does the audience find that?
Yes. So on my website, joannadoiban.com, you'll see a lot of the themes we're talking about today: money energetics, stepping into your wealthy woman mindset and abundance mentality. You'll also see some stuff about smashing debt down, how to save for retirement, how to create millionaires out of your preschoolers. And you'll see the free guide, which is really step one, which is how to organize your money flow so you can save and spend with intention. And it's 3 easy steps that you can do before the week is up. The simplicity of it is really the magic. Anyone can follow the guide. And I can't wait for more and more people to get their hands on it, for lives to be changed, and for people to stop feeling so ashamed and guilty and stressed and just negativity when it comes to money, because that's unhealthy.
Mhm.
For this like wellness culture, for all the self-care we talk about, we don't take care of our financial selves. I don't care how many spas you go to and meditation retreats and journaling and gratitude. If you don't take care of your money,
Mhm.
self-care wise, then all the other stuff is just layered on top of a little bit of a yucky foundation. So I hope you guys go out there and get the guide and start taking control of your money.
Yeah, and I love how we're similar, keep it simple. Like it doesn't have to be overwhelming. There are some very complicated life insurance or investment products, and until you get to that point, it's not always needed. So if you keep it simple and just, plan for the future, like you said, plan for your future self. I love how you put that. Then you don't have to worry about it. It's the plan is in place. So if something happens to you, then it's taken care of.
Yes. A lot of people, there's statistics, 1 in every 3 people will get cancer. 1 in every 2 marriages end in divorce. Life is going to happen, right? And so, yes, when you plan for your future self, you're always going to be supported by money energetically and in the bank. And that gives you choices. I would hate to see a woman stuck in a toxic marriage because she couldn't afford to get out,
Mhm.
or living in a neighborhood that just wasn't the right school system for her kids because she didn't have that big down chunky juicy down payment on a house in the suburbs, or and so it is it's so important, like, and I'm so grateful to start to blend these two worlds together, because knowledge is the opportunity for change and for power in your life, and money in the hands of good people, Angela, like that's going to change the world.
Oh, I know. I know. I get goosebumps just thinking about that. So thanks. Okay, so I have a fun question for you, completely off topic. So I'm going to throw you a little bit. But if you could have a superpower or a super talent, what would it be and why?
Oh, I used to have dreams of myself flying, like zipping through the sky. And so if I could have any superpower, I just want to like fly in the clouds and just feel really, really free and like elevated and just part of nature. And yes, why? Because our experiences, like we create our own reality. We could wake up in the same kind of life as this other gal here, and this gal can be just down and miserable, and this one can just feel like she's flying high. I just want to feel this high vibration. We get one chance at this life. We feel so small when I see the stars. I'm like, what? What's the even purpose here? So yeah, I want to fly. I just want to like zip through the skies and just feel really free.
Yeah, and then you take that great feeling and you just continue to share it and impact other people.
Yes, when we shine our lights brightly, right, then we give other people permission to do that. I spent a lot of my years just trying to fit into what people wanted me to be. And I said, the more Joanna I am, the more authentic I am, the more that's going to rub off on somebody else. And so it all starts with, putting our mask on, taking care of ourselves, and then letting the ripple effects just come out for everybody else to experience.
Yay. Well, Joanna, I'm so glad you're on the podcast today. I love your message. Keep spreading it, keep positive and impacting other people. I know, I can just see it on the camera. If someone's listening and not watching it, like you're that light that you're talking about, you definitely see that shining coming behind you and from your attitude. So I really appreciate it. So again, if our audience wants to get in touch with you, social media, website, go ahead and say that again.
Yes, on Instagram, it's at Joanna Doiban, my website, joannadoiban.com. And on Facebook, the group is Mama Money Masters, and you'll find it all linked. If you land on any one of those pages, you'll be able to find it there. Thank you so much, Angela, for having me. Thank you for paving the way for women to talk about money, to make choices that are empowering for themselves by just living the example. So I'm so grateful for you. Thank you again.
Yay, awesome. And thank you so much. That concludes Empower Her Money podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast, like it, subscribe, and help us reach more people and impact more people by sharing this message. Thank you so much for tuning into Empower Her Money podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, share this podcast, and leave a review wherever you are tuning in.